Okay, let's go.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Ma'am, We're Almost 40. 40. Dun, 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 dun.
Boom.
Yes, so we're like approaching our 40s quicker than I appreciate. We're like 5 years away. I'm like a few months away from being 35.
Yes.
35.
Oh, I think it just got realer for me.
The way my tummy hurts. I just feel like I'm just not mature enough to be 40. Like, I just feel like you have to have a certain level of maturity to be 40 in my mind. I know there's a lot of immature 40s. I know there's some immature 50s as well. But I just feel like for me, like, can we take a step back, please? Right? Can we take a step back? As we approach our 40s, I am looking forward to, I'm also looking forward to, I don't feel the same amount of anxiety that I felt coming into my 30s as I am going into my 40s. I feel more confident in who I am and what it is that I'm bringing to the table. And I don't feel so unsure, right? Because I want to say coming into my 30s, I was nervous and unsure. Like, I'm okay now.
Yeah, there's some certainty there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, one of my goals is to be a millionaire by the time I'm 40.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I am not a millionaire by the time I am 40, I'm going to be so bummed out. The level of bummed I'm going to be, but I'm not even going to put that in the world. I will be a millionaire, right? And I want to own multiple properties, rental properties. I want to own mini marts, malls. Like, I love that they're doing a lot of development in my neighborhood right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to lie, there's a lot of jealousy in my heart every time they put up a new building, because I'm like, man, I wish that I can be a part of that.
Yeah.
You know? How are you feeling like as you approach turning 40?
I am feeling like I would like to be in a position to take over the world when I turn 40. Because why not? There's a lot of things that I want to do. I would like to have them done before I hit 40 so that I can chill at 40. I want to be help to homeless young adults or high-risk young adults that may be facing possible homelessness. I want to buy buildings and create shelters for them.
I love that.
But I also want to create programs for them that allows them to get on their feet and, not live this lifestyle of coming home every day and just to make minimum wage. I want to create a space for them to either be entrepreneurs or to advance in a space where they're making six figures at a young age.
I love that.
Yes.
I had that similar thought, which is kind of what drove me into wanting to create my first big project. I own a company by the name of Inspire the Next.
Yes.
And honestly, recently, like the last 2 years is when I actually launched it. But Inspire the Next has been in my heart since like 2014. Right? And so essentially it took me like 8 years to get it off.
2014?
Yeah, like I had the idea. It all came about because I was hiking. I started going hiking a lot. Right after my mom passed, I moved to LA. And I moved there because I was just such in a miserable space. Like, I just was so down and out. Like, the darkness had me by choco, child. It just was so dark. And all I could think about is I just want to be happy. Yeah. And when I thought about being happy, I thought about LA. Right? So I'm like, well, I got to get to LA if I want to be happy, because that's where happiness is. Right? And then my lawyer best friend at the time offered me a space to come to her house. She didn't know me. She knew a little bit about me, and she was like, you know what, you can come out here and, I'll help you get on your feet. I was gone a month later. Yes, I
Wow.
was gone a month later. And as I was trying to find myself, I just started doing a lot of things that I probably would have not done so quickly.
Mm.
Uh, right. So one of my good friends was talking to me about hiking. And at first I was a little hesitant,
Mm-hmm.
but I just started hiking, and the freedom that I felt then and the freedom that I feel now is crazy. Every time I go, it was amazing. But by doing that,
Mm-hmm.
people started from my inner circle, well, not necessarily even my inner circle, people that I knew,
Mm-hmm.
like my family members or distant friends and whatever, distant relatives. They started doing some of the things that I were doing. They was like, let me check it out.
Oh,
So I was literally inspiring other people by just
yeah.
being my best self, like trying to find my happiness was helping other people do the same. And I'm like, man, inspire the next.
Mm-hmm.
I want to inspire the next person, the next generation, the next whatever, to be the best versions of themselves, whatever that may look like.
Yeah.
Like, you're never stuck in one space. If you want to change your mind, you can change your mind. But it took me 8 years because, you and I was talking earlier about being a perfectionist. Like,
Yes.
I just couldn't, it wasn't coming out like I wanted it to. I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't figure out my mission statement, but my logo I created back in 2014.
So you had that logo this whole time?
Yes, I hand drew it, like, cuz I saw it in my
Wow.
mind.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wow. That's interesting.
So it's crazy how, like, you can have such an amazing idea or have an idea, but you sit on it because sometimes you overthink it, or
Yes.
like being a perfectionist like steps in and stop you from doing something. Like, have you ever experienced that?
Yeah, I did. So I've mentioned this a few times, but I do spoken word, and a lot of people don't know this, but I remember clearly I started doing it in 6th grade, and there was this. She's so I had a friend that she basically inspired me to do it. Um, I feel like she kind of bullied me into doing it, but it was a good thing because there was some stuff I was going through. I had a situation happen to me, and she just kept encouraging me. She's like, write about it, write about it. And at the time, she was a writer. She was rapping and doing her thing. She was really good. Like, I really looked up to her. And I just started doing it one day. We were at her house with her grandma and hanging out, and I just started writing. And she's like, that's good. That's good. Do another one. Do another one. And I'm like, whoa, calm down. I got, okay. And we had this assignment from my teacher. I'll never forget, Mr. Stanley. Hey, Mr. Stanley. He had us, we had to like do a writing project. And I wrote one of my pieces and I brought it to him. And he pulled me to the side and he was just like, man, this is great. He was like, I almost cried when I read this. Now, I think that was a turning point for me and him because I was a hothead in his class. And he was like, girl, you sitting on this talent. And I didn't write again after that.
Why not?
I didn't write because I ended up moving from that area. And the girl that, call her girl, she gonna kill me. Um, my friend that encouraged me to do it, we just like separated, and I didn't see her for a very very long time. And then I want to say like 8 years later, I started writing again, and I'm writing, and then I start performing. I started going to different places performing my spoken word, and then I saw her. Didn't know she was there. I performed, and she got up and she was like, Roberta. I'm like, whoa, hey. She was like, you killed that. You killed that. I'm like, oh, thank you, whatever. And her and I reconnected, and unfortunately she was murdered. Her and I, we were gonna do some a piece together. And I was so hurt by it. But I thought about it and I'm like, man, this whole time I was procrastinating on this talent. I was just sitting around. I was afraid that people wouldn't like it because she wasn't there to encourage me. So when I met her again after doing all those shows and getting all those standing ovations, I'm like, whoa. And then she said it was good. I felt like she basically blessed my writing. Like, you can do this. And she was very good. I didn't agree with the lifestyle she was living. I didn't agree with her music or anything, but I loved her as a person. And when she was murdered, it like, yeah, it did something to my soul. And I stopped writing for a couple years after that.
Really?
I did. I felt like after that, wasn't like nothing was perfect again. Yeah.
That's deep.
So yeah. So yeah, I stopped writing, and it was a little period, and when I did start back writing, I just felt like it wasn't it. Like, man, this isn't it. I remember balling up papers, throwing it in the garbage. Like, I'm not doing this anymore. I can't do it. And then my brother, um, I was thinking about my brother, and I started writing again, and I've been writing ever since. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, spoken word. I was sitting on it for a while.
I feel that I recently launched my website to inspire the next. Now,
Yes.
mind you, I'm a website builder.
Right.
Others' websites had been built, but mine had not, and it just sat there on my GoDaddy site. It just sat there, and it's just because it couldn't. It just didn't feel right to me. Like I didn't love it. I just didn't. And I would go on and tinker with it every day and change different things. Like I liked the photos. I liked a lot of it, but it was like my mission statement. It didn't feel like
Mm,
me. It didn't feel like the original purpose. Because of course, after 8 years, things had evolved. My thought process behind it like slightly changed, but
yeah.
at the end of the day, it's always about encouraging others to be the best versions of them, like their authentic selves, no matter what that looks like, right? Because you never know who's watching,
That's so
who's
true.
like getting inspiration from you as you figure out your life. I remember back in college, right around the time my mom had died.
Mm-hmm.
So I get yeah, after college, I guess there was this girl that I met. She was an exchange student from England because I studied abroad, and her and I exchanged spaces. She came here, I went there,
Yeah.
and her name was Fanny. I'll never forget her.
Hi, Fanny girl.
I know, right? She sent me a message. Like I just felt so low, and she just sent me this message, like saying, like, you really inspired me. Like when you make your post, when you say certain things, like there are days I feel really badly, and I read your post and it makes me feel better.
Oh,
Like it was a light in my darkness.
yeah.
It made me feel so much better. And as I was posting the videos and the pictures of me hiking or me just trying new things, and people like talking about how they were trying new things and stepping outside their boundaries. Like it, I just love that. Like I love to see someone try something new and love it.
Yeah.
Right? It's like a highlight. Like, man, I told you you would love it. You would be great.
You're
You
just
know?
going through life, being your natural self, living, feeling the emotions that come up from time to time. And people are watching you and just being inspired just by you being you.
Yeah. Also like I watch other people too. And I'm inspired by other people. Right? There was this quote by Tracy Ellis Ross. And she like I really loved it. I think I made a Facebook post about it. She said something along the lines of like um you people like you think that you love me, like you love being around me, but darn, I think I'm definitely messing it up.
You're butchering it.
It's giving tragedy, right? So but I'm gonna drop it in the caption. I might make a Facebook post about it again. It was just really powerful though. But I'm not gonna lie, January was rough on me. January was really rough on me. It was very hard.
Mm-hmm.
I got into an accident. Um
It's in a car accident?
yeah, into a car accident. It was like minor, but Geico tried to well, they totaled out my car saying that the repairs were more than the car was worth, and I've had my
Oh
car
no,
for a
Mikey.
if you know me, you know Mikey, and Mikey is he's my favorite. He's my car. But like that triggered me, and then it was the anniversary of my mom's death.
Yeah.
So it was like a lot going on. And normally my body,
Mm-hmm.
like in January, starts doing something, even if I don't remember. Some days I'll forget that it was her anniversary's coming up. Cause life is life, and then you just moving through, right?
But
And
that chemical response.
yeah. So I was having a really tough time. Um Normally I'll keep it to myself, and I'll just be like, yeah, it's a little rough. I'll crack my joke and get out that jam.
Yeah.
But like this time I kind of expressed to you,
Yeah.
like, hey, no, like it's rough on me, and this is how it's rough on me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is it kind of putting me in a slight depression,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to, get out of it,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm struggling a little bit. And I also told it to my friend Sean Trail, and the way that y'all covered me, like honestly, it was like I felt so loved, so seen, right? And like, okay, so on the day of, Roberta and my friend Chantrell like came over. Roberta spent like the first half of the day with me. She like got me some balloons and stuff, and some cards. Roberta's very sweet in that way. Bless her little heart. Just sharing inspiring, encouraging words to help me get through that time. And we got to reminiscing.
Man, we had some good memories.
Yes, we got to talking about different things, and like Chantrell came over, and he spent the second half. We watched the LA game versus the Golden State Warriors. Right, I'm a Warriors fan, mm. But it went into double overtime, and it was so
Die
great.
hard.
But like the way that y'all made me feel that day, like honestly, I'm not gonna cry on camera because I'm better than that. But like it meant everything to me. It really did.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I wanted to be there for you in that space. Mainly because you don't express often. So when you do, I feel obligated to make sure that you know that you're seen. Because sometimes we don't like to allow ourselves to show weakness. And I don't even know if I like the word weakness, because when you say weakness, people run from that. And so that vulnerability, when you start feeling that, I think that we have friends and people in our lives that are supposed to show up for us. Because if they don't, then who will? And so I appreciate who you are to me. And I just wanted to make sure that you knew, even though you feeling what you were feeling, you don't have to feel it alone.
Yeah.
If you need somebody to be there to laugh, we shared a lot of stories. I shared stories with you about my brothers and all that. So I did enjoy that time. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And I think that even that just goes along with inspire the next.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you inspire people, you inspire them to inspire you. So
So safe to say, my new year started February 1st. I needed a fresh start, right? But I think for me, like you said that I don't express often. I
mm-hmm.
don't, and like a lot of that is my stuff, right? For the most part, I'm kind of used to always being like the life of the party. I come with
Mm-hmm.
like good energy, and I don't know how to handle being the downer in the group, right? Because something inside me makes me feel like I need to then go into performance mode.
Mm.
Like if I'm feeling like crap and people come around me, like sometimes I just need you to climb into my crap with me and sit there and watch TV, right? But sometimes I feel the need to perform, like talk, have different things going on, even though I might not be in that space. So, but when I don't have the capacity to perform, I shut down and I don't talk to anybody because I'm like, I can't. And that doesn't mean that you required me to perform.
Yeah.
I felt like I had to, and then and now I can't be.
You turn into a hermit.
I'm processing. If let's be clear, a crab,
Okay.
because I'm a Cancer.
Oh my.
Drop the mic. Honestly, that's how we do. Like Cancers, we go back into our shells. Like I'll go into my shell in a minute. And before, like back in college, I didn't like that. I'd be around a whole bunch of people. But now, after the pandemic, I am perfectly fine with being by my little lonesome child. I be having a ball by myself, girl.
Listen, self-care.
Okay, promise you. How was like January for you? Like was January like a good month? Like you're like, oh, I know you're still a new mom, so
January was a lot for me. I had a lot of transitioning taking place in January. Of course, one of the major thing was my daughter, because she was so little, and I had a full-time job. I had 3 businesses I was trying to get off the ground. Um, I was trying to write again. I was trying to create and set her up for what she needed. I was trying to be a fiance. Like January was crazy. Um, but I think so. I planned a fashion show in December, and I successfully did the fashion show. So I was really, really happy about that. So January was supposed to be a little break for me.
nice.
And unfortunately, it was not, because life was lifing. It had gotten real. There was some personal things going on that I can share at a later time, but those personal things took my January like downhill. I wasn't in a great space. I mean, I was okay because I had to be for my daughter, but I was a little jacked up, mentally. Like there was things I wanted to do that I couldn't do. I started shutting down because there was so many variables in the background going on while I was trying to make all these moves. And then I recently just made a decision that I was happy to make, but it just put me in a rough situation. And now that I'm in that situation, I'm just like, oh my God, boom, here goes another thing or another hurdle that I have to get over. And I have to do it all with a smile on my face because little Miss Ma'am is looking at me. She doesn't like when I'm frowning. She doesn't like it at all. She'll whimper. She'll get sad. And now I understand why mothers and parents are always like, I'm doing this for my baby. I got to be strong for my baby. So like all these situations that's taking place, I have to move with it differently because I know somebody's watching me.
How did you get out of it?
I'm
Or are you still like processing now?
Yeah, I'm still transitioning through some of it right now. I mentioned that I made a decision. I'm not going to share what the decision is just yet, but I did make a decision which lifted a heavy weight off me. And why it shifted a lot of other things in my life. I believe that this shift is going to cause a lot of happiness down the line. And so I did it with that in the back of my mind, and I feel like I made the right choice. So if I continue to make those choices, I think I'll be okay. I think that I can hammer through February and be okay if I just keep the same mindset that I have and continue on the path that I set aside for myself, and not a path that someone else has set aside for me, or a path that helps build someone else's dreams and not my own. And I have to do that because I have to show some little kid, my little baby, that, it's okay to do what you want to do. It's okay to follow the things that you want for yourself. That's okay. You don't have to build another man's dream. But I have to make sure that the choices I'm making now lines up for her future to be able to do that, while also making sure I can do it for myself as well. So yeah, January was rough. Got real.
Okay, listen. So she started her new year February 1st too.
February 2nd, actually. I was out of commission on the 1st.
Fair. Happy Black History Month, BT Dubs. Hey guys.
Yeah. Happy
What is
Black
some
People Month.
bless her heart. Okay. What is some things that you did like self-care things that you did for yourself? January was happening. So what are some things that you did to like give yourself some self-care? Because I know you said just your daughter is your biggest motivator,
She
right?
is.
But outside of you being a mom, you're Roberta.
I am.
So how did you like give self-love and care to Roberta?
One of the things that I did for myself was I started writing again. And I'm actually currently working on a piece for my daughter. Y'all gonna hear everything gonna be for my daughter to the day I die. Okay, so just prepare yourselves for that. So I started writing another piece. I'm super excited about it. I'm almost done with it. When I'm done with it, I'm going to perform it. I don't know where, y'all. I'm gonna keep y'all posted.
You might get an exclusive.
Yeah, so I will perform it, and I feel that's self care for me because I'm doing what I love. I'm writing again, and I have something to write about. I don't have writer's block anymore like I did when my brother passed away. So to be able to, come out of that shell again and write, and to feel happiness and joy behind it, that is all the self care I need right now in this moment. I don't know what March is gonna look like, but for February, my self care is doing things that I love and enjoy, and one of those things is writing again.
I love that.
What about you?
You know what? I started back working out. I started back working out and meditating. And oh, what a difference that it makes in how I feel about myself
Yeah.
and how I feel about the world. When I don't feel like I'm giving enough love to myself, like I don't have any to give to other people, like people irritate me more and easily,
I feel that.
but when I feel like I've given what I needed to give to myself, then I have so much love. And I'm like, hey, how y'all doing? I have more patience. So I've been working out more. I want to say last year I bought this bike, this workout bike, and it's been sitting in my corner, being unused, Jesus. But it's been sitting in the corner, and so I want to say like a week ago, like this week, I started back working out very heavy and meditating, and as I was quieting my mind, like I felt peace.
Yeah.
But as I was working out, I was listening to, I started off listening to Tina Turner, and because it had an undertone of gospel music, it made me think about a gospel song, and I realized that I had, like, God had been missing a little bit in my life, and I needed to turn back into Him. So I'll be going to church coming up these Sundays, trying to connect with the Lord, right? That's a little bit part of my self care,
Yeah.
right? Feeding my soul. So, yeah. I wonder, like, what are you guys doing out there for your self care? Like, what are some things that you do to make you happy when life is life and at its highest? Like, what are some things that you guys are doing? I hope you guys drop it in the comment section. Let us know. I'm down to try different things. Like, I want to do a mud bath.
I don't want to do that.
I might drag Roberta along.
I will not be going.
I feel like rock, paper, scissors is okay.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
I gotta let it go, guys.
I will not be going.
But that was so fair. That was some fair business, We're gonna bring this episode to a close. Right? Like, how you feeling?
Like, I want to try and take over the world.
One day at a time.
I'm Pinky. I'm not the brain.
I'm so bummed out for you.
Myself up. Oh my God.
But yes, guys, go comment. Let us know the things that you are doing for self-care. How was your January? Was January rough for you? Did it come and snatch your edges like us? Or were you okay?
Let's not talk about that. They're coming back.
Roberta had a little slight scare. She's fine now.
Yeah.
But, all right, guys. Have a good weekend. Be safe, make smart choices, celebrate. And again, happy Black History Month. Boop, boop, boop. Fist in the air.
Black People Month.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
What's the Black People Month thing? What's going on? Yeah.